right.
Oh, tell him.
It's just to test. It's like get me out of the pool, get me out of the pool. You remember, that's the
That states what
problem.
Florida law is.
That, Peg,
I'm more than willing to give you a copy.
that's the problem. You can't tell them what to do. They're gonna do exactly
Peg
what
made a
they're going
motion
to
to not
do.
allow dogs at the pool, I second it.
Thank you, Peg.
Okay, no dogs at the pool.
No dogs at the
Okay.
pool, period.
Or the tennis court. Or the tennis
Or the
court.
tennis court.
Who's supposed to check whether it's emotional support dog or?
Well, but somebody's gonna have
You
to say
have
something.
to,
Non-police.
only,
Peg, that's a, hey,
okay, move on to
no,
the
you
next
can't, so
one.
that's why.
Let's move on, we got that settled.
Let them go there.
Move on, got it settled.
You're never gonna win with
You
them.
can't
Okay, so
have
let's talk about
No, no, the vote's been called.
no persuasion here. Let's
Call the
move on.
vote.
Will you be quiet and let us have?
No dogs around the pool. Mrs. Wager?
No, because he's running the
Will you
meeting.
stop?
I just said I second it, no dogs at the pool.
Okay.
Yes.
No
No
dogs.
dogs. Peg, no dogs, no dogs at the pool.
Yes.
Fred?
Yeah, you should have dogs at the pool.
For dogs at the pool.
3-2, no dogs at the pool.
Yay!
Next item of business,
Bulk structure, what happened?
You know.
Yeah, it's under the MRC.
You're winning.
All listen to this. That's all, listen. Okay.
That's all that
As
matters.
far as what happened with bulk trash, all the members, maybe except for Fred, did receive a full chronology from the president of River Terrace around how we got there.
Good.
If you want me to read that to everyone, I
Why didn't
can.
I get it?
You
I have
probably
it
weren't
right
on the
here.
board at
Oh,
that-
that's
at the
right.
moment.
No, we read
would you
it.
like my copy?
Thank you.
So this is really a non-issue.
Well, that's your opinion. I think it's a big issue.
Okay, it is an area that's under, I'm gonna say, the jurisdiction of the MRC.
I read it.
And individuals took it upon themselves to go and take it down without any meeting, without any vote. So, that's where we are.
Good, that's it. Do it any way you want. See, Peg, that's what you take notice. Whatever, no, that's take notice, that's what it is.
Very good, Peg.
So do you
So-
understand now why we have to bring it up?
Talk about it.
No.
Yeah, so
No.
the bulk structure was taken down by, I saw John over there and Wendelin, and there was another gentleman. You just decided on your own to take it down. It
Yeah.
falls
No,
under
it
the
was
middle
after
river.
several violations.
Right.
That River Terrace,
Did you have a meeting?
Received?
Did you have an MRC meeting?
no, we did not have an MRC
right.
meeting. This is
Because-
the only second meeting we've had since I
Right.
became
Oh, so you-
vice president.
So you took it down without a meeting and without a vote?
It's on our land.
No, it's on our property. We've been told it's on our property.
No, it's on
And so-
half and half.
I want to have John stand up for a second. John, you're more involved in this. So you could just give us an overview of how this whole thing happened?
So, I'm the new president of River Terrace. Accept your condolences. Okay. On or about October 7th, I received a phone call from Code Enforcement Officer Batista from the Department of Community and Economic Development of Oakland Park. He called me in regard to violations for our enclosure, our bulk trash enclosure. The officer stated that he was referred to me by an Anthony Rubio, who told him that the bulk trash enclosure was the responsibility of River Terrace, not Middle River Park. So the officer called me, and he explained that the issue was that we were in violation. One, because our gate had been ripped off, and two, because there were flammable materials thrown into it. Then Donald Quire, I don't know if he's an officer, from the Department of Community and Economic Development called me and informed me that we were in violation of City Code Ordinance Section 24.79.1E5E. We had several conversations back and forth. And then I had some hurried conversations with our management company, Royale Management, and said, look, I don't think it's our responsibility because it serves the whole complex. I said, but look, the issue is we're in violation. Let's take care of it at our expense so we don't prolong the violation, because at this point I don't know how Florida fines work. I don't know if in 10 days, if it's still not repaired, you get a bigger fine and get a bigger fine. So we met, I spoke with the board, and I said, since Tony and the officer have said it's my responsibility, then we fix the fence. Well, in a few weeks go by, the fence was ripped off again. So I said, well, this doesn't make sense. Why should we keep spending money to put the fence back if someone is gonna keep ripping it off? And we're gonna be in constant state of violation. So on or about January 6th, we then received a notice from Oakland Park Department of Fire Rescue that we had to remove or properly store the combustible waste because we had excessive combustibles in the dumpster. And we had to have it all removed no later than January 20th. So I immediately took it upon myself and went into the bulk enclosure, the disgusting bulk enclosure, and removed every single flammable paint can, paint thinner, etc. And I took them because I said, I found out that I have to bring them to the Broward Recycle Center on Powerline and sample. So I took it upon myself, I said, I will do this. However, we're not paying for another fence, because if people are not gonna follow the rules, why should we keep paying? It's our money. And, you know, like when I was a kid, my mother would say, you know, this is why we can't have nice things. You run around the table and you scratch the table, you know, you're losing the table. So I did that. Then on January 25th, I met with Inspector Rudolph Newman of the City of Oakland Park Department of Fire and Rescue to discuss the matter. Once again, even though 3 days later I had removed the cans of paint, there were more cans in the enclosure. I took them myself again to take them up to sample. All right. So I removed them. Okay. So at this point, we decided that we wanted to get rid of it. I contacted.
Who's we?
Let him finish.
I'm talking, when I say we, I mean me, like the queen. We. I'm the royal we. We.
Come on, go.
So we decided
It's
that
our
we would
opinion.
remove it. And I made sure, I confirmed with Oakland Park, the City of Oakland Park, the county, Broward County, and the state, that we are not required to provide the service of a bulk enclosure. My other condo in Margate, which is also Broward County, we do not provide that service. If we have something to throw out, it's our responsibility. We either take it to the recycling center on sample, or you call 1-800, you got junk, or whatever, and they come and remove it. All right. So, that was that. Then, on or about February 14th, all of our recycle bins were sealed by the City of Oakland Park, because this Oakland Park Department of Public Works, they sealed our recycling carts because people were throwing pizza boxes and paper bags, plastic bags in the recycling container.
Right.
We
It
were
was
in violation
contaminated.
again, and they said,
Contaminated.
until we corrected the situation, they were no longer gonna collect our trash. I guess it's a new thing. Now, the City of Oakland Park is like moving to doing away with the whole recycling program because they say it's not cost effective for them. So this is a way, I think, that of them to convince people to get rid of it. Because, look, no matter how many times we tell some people in this community, none here, because you're here and you're concerned citizens, the others, the ones who throw things in the recycle that are not supposed to be thrown away, right? We can speak to them till we're blue in their face, because some people think the laws don't apply to them.
Who's that?
So,
Who is that?
some people.
Shut up.
Avon,
Don't stop.
Avon
You.
116.
Don't
I had
ask
an
me.
argument with
Go ahead.
Avon
Don't ask me
116
that
last night
question.
with this
Go ahead.
recycle.
Don't ask me that question, Mr. Sager, because I will explain who doesn't think the
You
law
should.
applies to them.
Avon
So, we decided we would get rid of ours. And I believe other complexes in the community decided the same thing. And it was perfect timing, because recycles were being done away with, and the bulk trash enclosure was being done. At the same time, because if we can't follow the rules, then we're not gonna provide people with the service. I'm sorry, that's just, it's the way it is. So, then, on February 17th, board members of the Middle River Club, River Terrace Condominium, and residents of River Bend removed the fencing around the bulk enclosure because it was empty. Oh, that was it. Simultaneously, they had come, it was empty. So we had an empty enclosure, and the recycle bins were sealed. So it was sort of perfect, the perfect storm. Now's the best time to do it. It's empty because you can't remove the fence when it's filled with junk. So we did it. And then we had someone come and remove the poles, and then several of us from River Shores and River Terrace.
Which
And
persons?
the bend.
Yeah, which persons?
You don't have to name names. I don't tattle. I don't
Oh,
tattle.
you only asked for tattling, okay.
We need to have the names.
No, you don't.
No, he doesn't want to give them.
So then we took it upon ourselves and we cemented the holes to provide, so we made 4 extra parking spaces.
Good for
And
you.
while we were doing it, I have to say, car after car after car stopped, either thumbs up or applauded, and said, thank God, because that was such an eyesore. My realtor saw that and said, I can't show your apartment with this trash container filled like this. And other people said they hated coming out of their apartment and looking. Last week it was overflowing, mattresses. And then, of course, 2 days later, because some people got the notice, but unfortunately, renters didn't, because apparently notice was sent to the owners, so the tenants didn't know. So the other night, someone left a sofa there. Even though everything was gone and there were cars there, they just left the sofa. So I took it upon myself. I called 1-800 got junk or whatever, Wilton Manors Company. They came and picked it up. And I paid $90 to have it taken away. Now, there's 4 extra parking spaces people are using. People have now gotten in their head. I'm sorry, there was this poor man in River Shores, I think he almost gave a heart attack to the other night, because he pulled up clearly unaware of what happened, and he walked back and forth. He looked in the bicycle container. He was going back and forth with his table. In the interim, we ran down the stairs, and we said, no, it's not, you don't put it, and we helped him put it back into his car, and I told him that he had to bring it. There'll be a little learning curve since not everyone has been informed yet of the situation. You know, that's not clear. So, I don't know if there's, and so, quick recap, Tony Rubio told the officer to call me. The officer called me, and Tony did say to me, well, why didn't you call me when the officer called you? I don't second guess law enforcement. If a police officer or fire chief or a member of whatever,
Look-
fire rescue
look at law.
tells me to do something, I do it. I don't second guess law enforcement.
Good.
Or waste law enforcement time like some people do. So, that's the story about the removal of the bulk enclosure. It was my responsibility
Thank you.
for Mr. Rubio, and I took care of it.
I tell you, John, that was good.
And it's nice
That
to
was
get people
really
walking
good,
around
except
and
that
seeing
not everything
things.
was true, but you said it very good.
Yeah, I'm so- I'm
It
sorry.
was all true. It was all
It's all true, right.
No, I'm
you know.
sorry, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. So he just said not everything I said was true.
He's calling you a liar.
He's calling me a liar. You don't call a Sicilian a liar. I have every single thing I said
Documented.
backed up by an email from
Correct.
Officer Batista.
Correct.
From Officer.
So do I.
Newman. And I have copies of all the violations.
Correct.
So if there's anything.
Well, we're gonna
Mr.
explain it.
Rubio thinks is not true,
I am.
I would ask you to please let us know.
I am.
So if I have to correct the record.
Yes,
I
correct the
will
record.
correct
I'm
the
going
record.
to.
Please do. Please proceed, sir.
Thank you.
How do you feel being called out on your shit?
I want him to proceed.
Okay.
Okay, we're
Back
gonna
in the
move on.
spring, the Middle River Club Board asked for a volunteer to take over the bulk issue.
Here we go, going backwards again.
No, let him speak.
It's not going backwards, it's what's on the record. And at the time, Wally volunteered. You don't know what's going to be stirred soon.
Is that a threat?
No, that's a promise.
Okay.
So Wally volunteered, and he was going to take over. It never took place. And River Terrace, they would have put the bill on, the extra pickup on there. Excuse me. The extra pickup would have been on River Terrace's bill. It never took place. I wrote the city, I gave them, because I was informed I was the problem. I wrote the city with Wally's information. Wally never took care of it. So I said, let somebody else from River Terrace take care of it. That bulk is a community-used amenity. Then what happened, somebody from River Terrace complained, Mr. O'Brien. Why were they calling me? Or not, he's emailing me, Mr. Batista. I said, they agreed to take care of it. It was their responsibility. They are not the owner of that bulk. been, it was Middle River Club's authority and ultimate responsibility. So you misinformed, likely unintentional, I'm not saying intentionally.
Officer Batista called me and agreed with what you said, that it was my responsibility. I took care of it. I
No,
appreciate
your
gratitude
responsibility,
for
not to tear it down, but to have the second pickup done on it.
This Officer Batista phoned me because you referred him to me.
No.
To take care of the gate.
Excuse
Because the
me,
gate had been-
I have the email. It says, go back to Bill O'Brien and ask who's on the board there. I have the email. I don't know who's on the board over there at that
Okay, it's
time.
not important. Well, is that what, one thing is, it's gone.
Right.
The community
It's
looks
gone.
much better.
It does. It
People-
looks great.
So,
The only problem is-
Everyone is clear on how it happened, why it happened, and we can move on to agenda.
No, we're not
No, we're
finished.
not.
We're not finished. You took something down you did not have authority to do.
Yeah, why?
So what?
It was falling down.
So what?
It was broken and falling down.
Okay.
And you weren't doing anything to repair it.
It wasn't my responsibility. Somebody
Oh, there's no
volunteered.
responsibility.
There you go.
There you go.
You didn't hear what I
You want to
said.
have all the other responsibilities, that one you don't want to have a responsibility.
Will you stop?
And
Managers-
will you
stop?
I have a question. When that was put up, did anybody check with the fire department? Look how close that was to the gas station. If that ever ignited, the whole building would explode. Did anybody ever check into that when it was first put up?
So are you saying it's not in the right place?
I don't think so.
No, I don't want
Fred, you're
Over there would be a
talking
nice
to
place to put it.
Okay.
Maybe away from the gas station. There's, away from the gas station would be a nice place to put it. If we want
right
to put it
in
up.
River Shores, the ghetto.
Okay, can
That's
we
right.
just go on,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
once
will you
again.
stop interrupting?
Maybe in front of her
No
apartment.
more.
It's gone.
I'll
So
be happy to.
it's gone. But is it forgotten?
I understand that motion.
Go on forward.
An option moving forward. There's a company called Choice Waste, and I called them, and they do provide service where they can come in with a 8-foot, 16-foot, 30-foot bin, thank you. They leave it for 24 hours, and then they do a pickup. So every unit owner could have one day a month, if we chose to have that, come, remove, but you pay for that service. But we've got, it depends on the size of the bin you want. So, there are other options if people are that upset that we can look into.
Yeah,
no space
the
car.
situation with that is, it's not, no one's upset, everybody can drive
All right,
an hour
we're
on the
leaving.
full 100.
If we get
The issue
final
with that
calls.
is in another.
Thank
town,
you.
they leave
Thank
the
you.
bin.
Have a good day.
Guys,
Because people know that the
Yeah.
bin is coming the third Thursday of the month. Starting the third Monday of the month, they start leaving their crap where the bin is going. No, it's gone, it's done,
gone.
Gwendolyn, people will go to sample and it's, drop off their garbage, phone call 1-800, got jumped. Like I did, and the woman who just moved out of 107 this week, she did. She called the boss, she was disappointed. She said, oh, I was counting on that to throw out a lot of my stuff. She said, and I told her, this is what you do. She got the company that I got, they came, they picked up her stuff, and it went easy peasy 1 hour. No one had to look at garbage, the community looks better, everyone is happy, case closed. Item 10, please.
No, don't go on, don't tell us to go on.
Item 10.
Okay, so what are we asking? We're asking, when was the MRC vote to allow that to be taken down?
Tony said it's our responsibility. River Terrace, that's what we were told, and that's what happened.
No,
Move on.
Let it go.
no, you guys, this is important, let me
No,
tell
it's
you.
not. No, it's not.
Will you be quiet? You're not
Everybody's
called
happy.
on.
Why are you
I have the
talking?
floor, can you be quiet?
No.
I didn't
You're
think
saying
so.
nothing. You're creating.
Will you stop?
You're
Will you
creating
stop? I have the floor.
Let him speak.
No,
He's a board
Let's
member.
hear what
This
he
is
has
a
to
board
say.
meeting.
Let's see if it makes
Will you
any
be
sense.
quiet?
I'm an owner in this building. I looked at that.
Will
thing
you be
For
quiet?
years.
Will you be quiet?
It's over, it's gone.
No, it is not.
Why do you?
And wasn't your husband part of the group that took it down?
Pardon me?
Was it your husband?
No,
Did
he
John
wasn't.
help?
Woo!
Who took it down?
A neighbor woman?
John and Wendell that I saw,
This
and
was
then there was
not-
one other guy.
Stop it. Move on, come on.
Fingers.
So,
Nice.
would you stop? So we-
Move on.
Would you be
Go on.
quiet so we can get something